This week on Unreported World, we meet the blind patients told they might see again. They have cataracts, the main cause of blindness in the developing world. But most cases go undiagnosed. Patients have no way of getting to hospital and no one to help them. Ade Adepitan is with a medical team working to give sight to the blind against the odds in Malawi, Southeast Africa, witnessing cataract surgery and its life-changing results. He begins his report in the district of Chikwawa.
Rex Buenausi is a medic with a mission.
My friend, let's go.
Helping blind people see again.
Let's go to work.
He's an eye nurse responsible for hundreds of remote villages scattered across 3,000 square miles of bush.
So dusty.
Malawi is seriously poor. In this area, there are no paved roads, no electricity, and no phones. After an hour of tough riding, we arrive at a remote clinic. Whew. Volunteers have put word out about Rex's visit. It's packed with people going blind, mainly because of untreated cataracts. Rex has to decide who can be helped. There's going to be a day of operations at the district hospital in a week's time.
Okay. Yeah, and
One person desperate for help is Emeresi Jassi, known as Jess. She walked for hours to get here. Jess has cataracts, a clouding of the lens in both eyes.
Amai, this one ilili linaonongeka. Sizingatheke ukuthi tipange operation ukuthi this one lilizaona.
Jess needs urgent surgery on her right eye to have even a chance of seeing again.
If she doesn't have this operation on the right eye, they do take the same course as it happened in the left eye.
So next week's operation on her eye is vital.
Yeah.
It's the difference between her having sight and being blind for the rest of her life.
If we miss her next week, the next time she comes, I think the eye will not be the same.
The 3-mile walk here from home was a huge struggle for Jess, despite help from her granddaughter Adina. The hospital is 55 miles away.
How are you going to get to Chikwawa?
Most patients face this struggle to get to hospital, despite needing help fast. If Jess doesn't make it, there's no hope that she'll see again. Rex works for the Ministry of Health, which struggles for funds. It relies on the charity Sight Savers to pay for screening for cataract patients and the surgery that follows. Rex's next stop is 40 miles away. This time, some of the patients waiting are children. In the UK, childhood cataracts would be detected early and treated. In Malawi, that rarely happens. 14-year-old Rose Paulo has been brought here by her new stepfather, who'd heard Rex was coming to visit.
Rosie, take her this way, Didi. Ababa, ubona ya?
At the moment, she's virtually blind.
Yeah,
Maybe,
sure.
would you say 95, 96% blind?
Yeah, almost 97%. Ulendo oyambirira maso asanazime. Pamene unali ndi zaka zinga?
Ndekuti nthawi mwana kuti babadwa atabata choncho ndiye maso aja nangasinalika mwana ndiye kuti athe kudziwa zoti ndikutha kuona bwino zimakhala zomvutapo.
Apa ukuona cha?
Ngona kuwala.
Okay, good. The pupil is reacting to the light. There is some hope.
After so many years with cataracts, it may be too late to remove them and restore Rose's sight. But Rex wants to give her at least a chance.
Mungakwanitse kuti muchoke kuno mpaka ukafika kuboma makobira ngati wapezeka kuti mutsabwerere.
Kuchokera apa kwafika kuboma.
Thank you, Rose, thank you.
But Rex knows even the £2 bus fare is probably beyond Rose's family.
It must be really heartbreaking when you meet someone, you know, a child or an old lady or an old man, and you tell them, we have a cure for you, we can operate, but you know that there's no way they're going to be able to make it to the hospital.
Yeah, that's where the problems comes. When somebody cannot make it for the operation. And I feel very bad, more especially when it's also a child.
I've come to see Rose in her village. Her family are trying to raise the bus fare to the hospital. If she could see, there's one thing she dreams of.
Rose, what would it be like for you to have your eyesight back again?
Rose's mum Jennifer says Rose often cries when the other children head off to school.
Jennifer, do you worry about Rose's future?
Whatever happens, the next few days will be the most important in Rose's life. I'm also worrying about Jess and how she'll make it to the hospital. The surgery is now 3 days away. If she misses it, she'll have lost her sight forever.
Emeresi, Jess, morning.
Jess is a widow and lives with her granddaughter.
So this is where your grandma sleeps? So after you've woken your grandma up and you've brought her outside, what does your grandma do after that?
Everyone in the village is hungry because the harvest has been poor. But Jess is in a really bad way because her blindness has stopped her from growing any food. She's become desperately weak.
So when was the last time you were there? It's an unbelievable existence. She can't see anything. Physically it's tough, but emotionally and mentally, it just must be so demoralising. Is there anybody in the village who has a bike or a car that could help Jess get to Chikwawa?
Magali moto ngongombeza kuti pese ndalama kuti pese gali moto tipite. Koma poti choncho kweza choncho sizimatheka iya.
Nganthandize.
These people are so poor, they're just living day to day. And I mean, I never thought I'd come to, or it would come to a time where eyesight is a luxury. It's 48 hours before the operations and the first patients are arriving at Chikwawa Hospital. Some have walked for 3 days to get here. Rex hopes in all 35 elderly patients will arrive, followed by 10 children a couple of days later.
What's going to happen with these patients?
We are going to accommodate them with the little space we have. Some will be on the floor.
Some of these people will sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
It's a very different hospital to what I'm used to seeing. The canteen is basically outside. They ran out of electricity. People using bikes as ambulances. I think it's really key for all of these people to have the surgery and for the surgery to work, because if there's one place where it's not going to be great to have a disability or be blind, I think it's here in Malawi. I mean, life is tough.
By that evening, many of the patients on Rex's list still haven't made it to hospital yet, including Jess.
How do you feel about patients like Jess? If she doesn't have anybody to help her, then that's it, she misses out.
I need to do something. He shouldn't miss this opportunity, because the other eye is completely blind. She needs to come for the surgery.
The hospital only has 2 ambulances. Rex manages to get permission to use them to collect Jess and the other missing patients, if there are no emergencies.
So Rex, out of the 35 patients that are up for surgery, how many have come by themselves?
Yeah, 14.
14. So that means you've got 21 left to collect.
Yes.
How are you going to do that?
Yeah, that will be early in the morning tomorrow. That will be the first thing. By 6 o'clock, I'll be out.
So you're going to leave here at 6 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
With 2 ambulances?
Yeah.
And you're going to go and collect 21 people?
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to do that?
Yeah.
The next morning, Rex only gets 1 ambulance. He's going to have to cram in 21 patients, and he's running late.
8:45, and we're finally ready to go.
Some patients are waiting at the clinic I first visited with Rex, and among them is Jess.
How are you?
Okay.
Time to go. Morning, Benji.
It's the moment Jess thought might never come.
Emirates Jesse.
Rex prepares Jess for theatre. With her left eye beyond help, today's surgery on her right eye has to work. There will be no second chance. The surgeon today is Dr. Petros Kayange.
So now I'm going to make an incision right into the eye so that the cataract is able to come out.
Is the patient awake?
Yes.
But they feel no pain?
No pain. Now you see it's coming out.
Oh, yes.
Out of the eye.
So that's the clouded lens?
Yes.
That's the lens that was affected by cataract?
Yeah.
It's incredible. And this is the lens that is going to give Jess her sight back?
Yes.
So you insert it back through the hole that you made?
Yes.
Do you have to close the hole again, or
No, we don't.
will it repair itself?
It repairs itself.
Jess's operation takes less than 15 minutes. But she'll have to wait to find out whether the surgery has been a success. Dr. Kiyangi plans to work flat out all day, but he knows thousands of people still go untreated.
Malawi, at the moment, there are only 9 ophthalmologists for a country of 60 million people.
And how does it make you feel to know that there's still so many people out there who are blind and it could be prevented?
Sometimes I feel hopeless because it's beyond our limits.
Rex has borrowed the hospital ambulance again to make sure that Rose and other children make it to surgery. They're taken to the city of Blantyre, where there's a children's eye unit. Rose has been blind since birth. I'm trying to imagine what a successful operation would mean for children like her.
They'll probably see the inside of the bandages and the light will start coming in. And then they'll see faces and they'll recognize the voices but not understand or put the voices together with the faces. And then slowly, everything will start making sense. That's what it's about. The world will start making sense once again for these kids.
Surgery on children is done under general anaesthetic. Dr. Gerald Musukwa is the only eye surgeon in Malawi qualified to remove cataracts in children. He warns me because Rose was born blind, surgery may not work.
Most of the development of sight happens by the age of 2, and if you interrupt it around that time, you end up with so many problems.
And how does it make you feel to know that Rose's problem could have been preventable?
A bit angry, but we can't focus on that now. I have to focus on the ones we can save.
Dr. Musukwa is operating on both Rose's eyes today.
So we have here our new lens.
Yeah, I see it.
So I'm just trying to have it implanted.
Suddenly the team become concerned.
So we had a bit of a hiccup here. We are not happy with the breathing.
Rose's breathing has slowed down to dangerous levels.
So I need to move quickly, get out. Okay, just give me 2 minutes, I'm done.
She hasn't started breathing on her own yet.
The anaesthetist is trying to revive Rose. It's extremely tense moments right now.
Now the chest is moving up and down.
Yeah, I'm just really relieved now because looks like she's been stabilised. It's good news. That was very dramatic.
Yeah, you don't want the heart to stop beating when you're operating, and we're a bit scared.
Rose has been through a lot today. She could have died in there. I really hope the surgery's a success.
The next day, and it's the moment of truth for Rose. She'll soon know if she can see for the first time in her life.
Okay, good.
This is a big moment.
Okay.
Even I'm feeling a little bit tense here.
Okay. 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 Just take one sweet. Yeah. Undi wana ne? Ndiri kudiku. Ndiri awaba. Awanda. Mwazi wa.
Hello, Rose. Hello. So can she see now?
Yeah, she can see now.
From both eyes?
From both eyes. And the vision will get better. Every passing day gets better.
Rose is leading the way. So cool.
ndikusangalala kuti ndafanana ndi azinzanga. Fana tikuona pabroda kamalemba aphunzitsi.
Ndikuti panopo ndikuti zinthu zasinthabe.
Can you see my hair? Can you touch my hair? Do I look funny?
And there's someone she's never seen.
What do you see, Rose?
In Chihuahua, Jess is about to find out if she's got her sight back.
Tandi ngani? Munduona? Ndavalaja maso.
Maso?
Ndavalaja ni maso.
Magrasi mi.
Magrasi? Oh. Malayawa.
What did she say?
Mitemba.
I can tell that Jess can see because she looks at the people that are speaking to her. I mean, she looked at me, she looks me in the eye, and I think she's just still trying to absorb this new world that has returned to her. The first thing Jess wants to do is hold her great-granddaughter, Mary.
Ndikumona lero nkhobe mwana uyu chibalire ne ndamona nkhobe ndamona bi iya lero ndamona nkhobe
Just a few hours later, Jess returns to her village. She's no longer bent double. She's walking tall.
What is it like to be back in your village?
Kale ndikapaona banshiba anthu andikaona angana nali bobo ndikangurika bobo diba nanga ndavenya ngana ali ndi nasanga kwa basi
Hey, good. Come and say hello to Jess.
And then for everyone, the final proof she can see again. Jess has not just got her sight back, she's got her friends and her family and her future back. Rex and the team have transformed Jess and Rose's lives, but there's still an estimated 15,000 people with cataracts in Malawi to find and to help.
This week, Unreported World is in South Africa, where the use of controversial skin bleaching creams is on the rise in a new generation. Despite strict laws banning cosmetics containing dangerous chemicals, they're widely available and are making people ill. Tania Hussein meets a celebrity who endorses skin bleaching despite the risks, and some of those who are trying to end the trade.
I'm joining Brigadier Delasoe Mota, head of the police in Witbank, close to Johannesburg. She and her team are about to raid 5 premises. She's not looking for drugs or guns, but beauty products. So we're going inside the shop right now. The brigadier is looking for someone selling the illegal skin whitening products.
I'm Brigadier Motar, the station commander. These products are banned.
It's illegal to sell any cream that claims to bleach or lighten your skin.
It's like she wasn't aware that she's not supposed to be selling this in the shop. We've just confiscated few, I think 6 or 7 of these skin lightening creams.
Skin bleaching creams are big business. A recent study suggested 1 in 3 South African women buy them.
Open that storeroom for us. Open it or we'll break the door open. The fact that you're behind the counter, it means you're fully accountable for what is happening in this shop.
They are banned because scientists say if you use them, you risk getting skin cancer and other serious conditions.
Dangerous chemicals. It's chemicals that
But the brigadier tells me as soon as the police confiscate the creams, the vendors restock.
It is hard to police because these are not South African products, they are imported.
So why do you think there's a rise in these skin whitening products? I mean, there's 525 products here from the raid.
It is a demand. It is because of a demand that is there.
Skin bleaching creams made all over the world are smuggled here. They're an international phenomenon, big in Africa, but also Asia, Europe, and America. Growing up as a dark-skinned Bangladeshi, I felt the social pressures to use them. But I'm surprised their use is on the rise in South Africa, where Black people want to struggle for political power. In downtown Johannesburg, the law is openly defied. The illegal creams really are everywhere. Oh my goodness, I'm standing right next to some fruit vendors, and in the middle of it, you just see skin whitening creams. Most of these creams sell for under £2. It's being sold in mass. Every block I walk up to is selling this. Why are you, I'm on, okay, we just got kicked out. They're up to no good, so they don't want us here. I've come to a student area to meet someone who's trying to look lighter. This is Jeff, a 19-year-old marketing student. He tells me he's been using skin bleaching creams for 2 years. And it's worked out for you?
Yeah, let me show you the before.
Whoa, that's totally different. It's like a different person.
Yeah.
What did you not like about this?
When I compare myself to now, I feel like I'm more appealing now.
Why?
Because I'm lighter. Yeah.
It's Friday and it's party night. So it's the college life.
Okay, excuse the mess. This is where...
Where all the magic happens?
Yeah.
Jeff's getting ready for a big evening.
Okay, I have a little something I mix every night before I go out with the skin.
Oh, it's lemon bait.
Yeah, and then I just mix it all together.
He mixes lemon, sunscreen, and lemon bait, a cream many South Africans use as a skin lightener, even if its packaging makes no such claim.
Yeah, then I'm good. First saw it in an advert. And then, yeah, I bought it. I started getting lighter and I just continued using it. The lighter the better, I think.
Jeff's ready for action.
I'm smooth when it comes to the ladies.
Oh, yeah? So how you doing?
Well, tonight I got 4 numbers so far.
Jeff's convinced having lighter skin is the secret to his success. A lot of other young South Africans would agree that it's a plus in the dating game. I want to know why. I've heard of a singer who's famous in South Africa for transforming the way she looks with skin bleaching products. I'm about to meet with local celebrity Mashoza. She's an icon here in South Africa.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, Mashoza. Mashoza is one of the country's biggest female rappers. Mashoza was a township girl who had a smash hit single as a teenager. She then disappeared from the public eye, and a new, much lighter Mashoza then reappeared.
You have a line missing there. Okay, I tell you what, can we try something? Yeah. Go in there, I'll talk to you.
Producer Gabby LaRue and Mashoza are working on a new track. Mashoza's rags to riches story makes her a role model for many young South Africans. And she's as famous for her skin bleaching as for her singing. We agree to meet the next day.
See what I mean? So keep it exactly short.
I join her at an upmarket spa.
We're still gonna do the full body scrub, but we're gonna start with the facial now.
She's getting ready for a photo shoot to endorse a new skin bleaching cream. Mashoza says she uses skin bleaching creams for a medical condition, but accepts that her new look has helped re-energize her career.
People saying when you're dark-skinned, you can't find a job. To me, that being sensitive because I've been through that. I've experienced that. There you go.
She admits young South Africans will copy her.
I am always on TV, I'm on newspapers. They're bound to read and want to be like someone who's on TV. That's part of life.
Mashoza's PR manager, Kolile, says celebrities need to look lighter.
It works better on screen, it works better with makeup, and we're selling an idealistic world out there. In TV, we have to sell a fake world. That's our job.
Pearl runs the company that makes the products that Mashoza is going to endorse.
This is the most effective of them all.
Why?
It can take you 3 to 4 shades lighter.
Right.
Yeah, and this can take you 3 shades lighter, and this can take you 1 to 2 shades lighter.
Wow, so there's different levels of lightness.
So it depends on how you want to look, or your goal.
What are you going to use on Mashoza today?
I think this one.
This is the most intense one.
Yeah.
These creams will sell at 86 pounds each. Mashoza's makeup artist, Kim, tells me she also uses skin bleaching products. She wants to be yellow bone, slang from the American South, meaning light-skinned black woman.
When you walk in the mall or a club and you're yellow, people notice you. Like,
Yes.
yo, yellow bone, yeah, she's light skinned, you know what I'm saying? You kind of like, you are more visible to people.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And even when you go to interviews and you're slightly fair skinned, you know, you probably will 50% chance of you getting the job. So it's got a huge impact on how people treat you as well. I feel like it'll never really come to an end. As long as white is labeled as the perfect race, it'll never come to an end.
The team get Mashoza ready for the camera and use some of the new cream. How does it feel when you put it on?
It stings a little bit, just a little when you put it. But then that basically tells you that it's penetrating the wax.
I'm starting to think that the cream is not above board. What did you just put on your hand?
It's a hand cream. It's used for hands and knees, elbows. It's more, you can't use the same thing on the face because it is too much hydroquinone, I think.
Oh, there's hydroquinone in it?
I don't know, but it's just, it's deeper, it's,
Hydroquinone penetrates the skin and suppresses the production of the skin pigment, melanin. Scientists have linked it to skin cancer. It's banned except as a medicine. How do you think young black girls are gonna respond to you promoting?
I can't stop them from doing it. It's happened already. They are doing it, they are using products, but they're just using products that are not good for them. So with me saying use this, I'm basically saying, if you wanna do it the right way. This is the right product to use. Kinda like got lost because you're talking too much. Oh my God, left to right.
We head to a TV studio where Mashoza's about to perform her new track on live TV. I've been pretty shocked by what I've heard in the spa about the advantages of skin lightening. Mashoza and her entourage take it as a given that being whiter helps you be more successful.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I want to know what Mashoza's producer Gabby thinks. He's one of the most experienced men in the music business in South Africa.
And you know, there's producers involved like myself, there's record companies involved, and then of course the fans. And you have to be a certain way and look a certain way in order to fit in. So an African woman with a lighter skin may be viewed generally as more beautiful. I can't see really the reason, because they're beautiful either way.
Millions will watch. Mashoza's an all-singing, all-dancing advertisement for skin bleaching. But I want to know more about its risks.
Let's see.
Zinhle Masomi is a hospital cleaner who's come to see Professor Mikoza Delova, a top dermatologist. Zinhle has used illegal skin bleaching creams that contain corticosteroids. They've contributed to this painful condition. Professor Delova did a recent study suggesting 90% of women bleaching their skin didn't know the risks.
Usuthola amakrema, ususebenzisa amakrema mangaki?
15 ngavele kwawes kunokuthi ngikho.
Okay, all right.
Professor Delova gives her a prescription to ease the discomfort.
Okay, thanks.
Thank
you.
Is it hard for you to see patients like that?
Like this? Yes, I mean, look at her. There's nothing we can do for her now. It's all damaged and she's...
I ask her about the active ingredients in the creams that lighten skin.
It's mercury, it's hydroquinone, it's phenol, and it's steroid-containing, corticosteroid-containing creams. So when you lighten the skin, you're basically removing the melanin that is protective to your skin and prevents damage from ultraviolet rays and getting skin cancer. Hydroquinone.
It's astonishing to her that people would risk cancer to be whiter.
I just wanted you to take a look and just, have you seen products like this, and do they raise your suspicion?
I show her the products Mashoza's endorsing.
It just says half-cast white cream. I don't know what that means. And it doesn't say what it contains. So if you test these and then you find the banned compounds, then you can make a case for it.
Even though it's after hours, she persuades her colleagues in the lab to test the product. We give samples of the cream to other reputable labs, and we're told we'll get the results in a few days. Meanwhile, I catch up with Jeff. He wants to make it as a rapper, and today, he and his friends are shooting a music video.
So okay, let me just tell it from the beginning.
Just sing it out. Sing it out, dude.
Born poor, gon' die rich. I'm self-made, got the sauce. Judging me, then digging me, this diggery, got the sauce.
He sees being a light-skinned performer as a great way to get female fans.
Girls, especially girls, they like rappers that are attractive.
And attractive means light skin?
Yeah, and by attractive, I mean light skin with a beard. Yeah.
You talk about ketchup. You talk about ketchup, but I got the sauce.
Jeff's already got 16,000 Instagram followers.
All right.
His friend Aura, a model, tells me she doesn't use skin bleaching creams, but understands why others do.
People always go about yellow bones, these lighter girls, and it's always appreciated or accepted or wanted. Like, girls that are lighter are prettier.
And there's US influence. Beyonce describes herself as yellow bone, in a single formation.
It's so sad because now all these other girls who are not light are going to try to go out there and do stuff like, skin bleaching just to look lighter and be accepted and seen as beautiful.
Jeff's beginning to open up more about why he wants to look lighter.
Oh, maybe it's because I'm working
He tells me he went to a private school where he was one of the only black kids.
I kind of stood out a bit. I don't think for the right reasons at that time. So they would tease me, those comments every now and then, but you could feel that. I would just laugh along, just to.
Yeah, I know how it feels.
So my friends also had girlfriends and all that, and I didn't have a girlfriend. So I thought maybe that was the reason why, because of my skin.
Did they make racist comments?
Yeah, since they did every now and then.
What would they say?
Kafir is a word they used to use in apartheid. They used to call black people kafirs.
Kafir is an offensive racist term like the N-word.
I think I just wanted to fit in that group.
I feel for Jeff and the pressure he feels to look lighter. When I was younger, I too experienced racism and felt the pressure to use skin bleaching products. But some people are taking a stand against the light skin look and the values behind it.
Tania.
Matale Sofile describes herself as a beauty activist. She's styling a shoot for a new magazine that promotes a very different look.
This is our studio. We're shooting. We're doing Zulu traditional hairstyles with our beautiful model there. We are trying to kind of normalize this sort of beauty, that you can be that dark-skinned and still be in the context of a beauty shoot. It's just normal and beautiful, and many black women in South Africa look like her.
Sorry.
Matale thinks the skin bleaching trend is a sign that the races still aren't equal here.
We have women who have been told for generations that they are not good enough, that their skin color is not attractive, that their hair texture is not attractive, that it needs to be fixed. And the question is, how crazy is it that we live in a world where your life can be easier just based on how you look, just based on the color of your skin? It is definitely that legacy of apartheid, that white is better, white is more beautiful. White people are still in power because white people still own South Africa. They hold the economic power. And having a black government, great, but if they're not changing those rules and kind of empowering black people, we're always then gonna be knocking on white man's door, looking for acceptance just so we can progress in life.
I'm concerned Jeff's skin bleaching could be putting him in danger. I call Professor Lester Davids across the country in Cape Town, who's conducted tests on lemon vape, the cream Jeff uses.
So, lemon vape is one of those creams that contain mercury. They also contain trace amounts of corticosteroids, which also have a negative effect on the skin.
Wow, it turns out that the product Jeff is using is in fact really dangerous. He's putting mercury into his body.
Mercury can harm the brain, heart, lungs, and immune system. With continued use, it could even lead to organ failure. Jeff goes through a bottle of lemon vape a month. I have to tell him.
You know, the cream you're using is illegal to be sold as a cosmetic.
Is it?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I had no clue.
You know, it has very dangerous ingredients that can harm you. It has mercury.
Mercury. I don't think I would stop using it. No, at the moment, I don't think I would stop using it because it's really helping.
you're still willing to use this cream?
Because if I knew the side effects and everything, I think I would have chosen like an alternative solution.
I think that's a good point.
I'd have to think about it.
The manufacturers of lemon vape told us it does not contain any banned ingredients, that they do not distribute it in Africa, and what's available there are counterfeit copies. We've been sent a lab analysis of the skin cream that Mashoza is intending to endorse. It contains hydroquinone, the banned substance we keep hearing about, which lowers the melanin in the skin and increases the risk of skin cancer.
It's been very difficult to get a hold of Mashoza. She finally answered her phone this morning, and now we're driving about 3 hours away from Joburg to go and meet with her and to discuss the results that we got from the lab.
Oh, shucks. I know it's hot. Flip. Oh, jeez.
After bleaching her skin for so long, Mashoza finds direct sunlight painful.
Burning.
So I wanted to talk to you a bit about the product you were promoting. Do you know what ingredients were in that cream?
Yeah, well, she did tell me.
What's in it?
I don't know.
We went to a lab and we tested the cream that you were promoting. And we found some harmful ingredients in it.
Like?
Hydroquinone. Here we're talking about the product you were endorsing.
That's not my product. I can't really comment.
But you were endorsing it.
And I stopped for certain reasons.
Hydroquinone is illegal in South Africa. It's banned to be sold as a cosmetic. There should be no hydroquinone in any product because it's dangerous and damaging to your health.
Yeah, I apparently yes. That is true.
You said when we met with you that one time that you are all for women, young girls using products that are not harmful to their skin.
I'm not to be blamed for anything that has to do with skin lightening. People do a lot of things. So I don't know if it has hydroquinone, like you said. I can't be blamed for it. Look, it is a business transaction.
A business transaction?
We contacted Pearl, the manufacturer of this cream, with the lab results, and she told us she no longer intends to put it on the market. After we left South Africa, Mashoza launched her own range of creams. She posted on social media, saying the new cream is making me look like a white woman. Her cream is on sale now.
Tonight on Unreported World, it's been a summer of hurricanes and floods, but the incident that's taken the most lives has been the least reported. It happened when torrential rain triggered a mudslide that destroyed the small town of Regent on the outskirts of Sierra Leone's capital, Freetown. Shay Rhodes arrived just days later to meet survivors and find out the causes. The report contains images some viewers may find distressing.
It's like something out of a disaster movie. You've got huge boulders. You can see where they've come scraping down the hill.
I just realised I'm standing on the foundations of a house.
There are houses, possibly even people, right underneath my feet here. Nobody knows exactly how many bodies lie in this muddy grave. 500 corpses have been unearthed, and overall, more than 1,000 people are unaccounted for. They were buried as they slept, their homes flattened by a torrent of mud and debris that in turn caused flash floods across Freetown.
Standing here, I'm starting to get a sense of just how catastrophic this all was. You've got boulders the size of houses just careering down a hill, some of them flying into walls like that one up there. But the rescue teams now have to decide how long they're going to spend trying to dig up the 600-odd people who might be buried under this. But they're also in a race against time to try and stop the spread of diseases like cholera, which could claim a hell of a lot more lives.
I meet Maliki, who wants to show me where his house once stood.
I lost my family all. Amy. Don't have me house there. I let me family them. Now that left me family. I didn't host deep. I'm on it 10. I made me family there. The week I all I go pray. So now I see that I eat now. I'm picking there. Now I call Daniel. When I say now for pray, I say okay. Now I say Papa say he say now he ask me say Papa you don't make motka. Now I say yes. Say he motka you don't make am.
Maliki said goodbye to sons Daniel and Ishmael, daughter Fatima, and wife Hawa, and went to work. A few hours later, his boss called to tell him about the landslide.
I won't can and I can see now my family there. So I left friend and my house. No, see no house again. No nothing. The stick there been there around there. All the thing don't turn over. So myself now I'm going study don't see any hold me.
He thought he'd lost his whole family. Then he learned that one son had survived.
Now I get called from Connaught. Then the camera I did in life say calm. Now I say I don't believe. So I don't know I managed to survive. But thank God, I'm east now. I don't left now for me.
Did you tell Daniel that everybody's dead?
No.
No?
No, I tell her it. You know used to her. If you go, they ask for his mama, they ask for his brother, for his sister. But you know say they don't die. You don't know it. Because if I tell her right now, he said he feel pain.
Yeah.
If I tell her, it takes to mind. And then tell her why they come out, why they reach up here. You begin to holler, say Papa they come, Papa, Papa. Say I don't get nobody, call me Papa. Hey life, I'm here. Why don't left me?
Not everyone. Daniel's still here, and he needs his dad.
Hey, Ishmael. Ishmael? God. Daddy call me Papa. Hey, Papa.
As a father, like, listening to him talk about, you know, feeding his children in the morning and then the mosquito net that he worked to provide and just everything that you do for your children, and then you have to stand here and just... Sorry, man. Sorry. I feel for you as a father. I can't imagine.
Ade, come on.
His surviving child, Daniel, is in hospital, and Maliki has no home to go back to. He's been told to go to an emergency response centre to register for housing. The government has pledged to rehouse the 7,000 people left homeless by the disaster.
So there's hundreds of people queuing up to get in, and when they get here, they need to be verified. Everybody behind the table is what they call a community stakeholder. They're village chiefs or well-known people in the community, and they can vouch for you simply by looking at your face and say that you are somebody who did live in this area. If you don't get your name on this list, you're on your own.
Malikie. Maliki, yes.
After a long wait, Maliki registers his details. Many survivors have lost everything and have no money to buy food. Their only option is aid from international agencies being managed by local security forces. But this is a very poor area, and some people not directly affected by the landslide are asking for help.
It's kind of chaos, but understandable, really. A lot of these people have lost most of their families, and they haven't.
A fight breaks out over who's getting the food.
It almost doesn't seem to be about the rice. It's just a whole load of frustration, angry people who have very little hope left.
Communities say that food aid is not getting through fast enough.
It is not good. Many people that died here, they are not look the others, they are in the hospital. They are not doing anything.
The next day, I catch up with Maliki. He's going to hospital to visit Daniel. His wife died in the landslide. Daniel's mother, Maliki's first wife, has also come to visit. 12-year-old Daniel is in intensive care. His left leg was crushed, and it's now been amputated. He had to have a number of bones reset in his right arm and hand.
Hey, poor boy.
Go all day today, they sleep. You know, they cry. But then there's the bone be there out, so now be the monagamo. For now, you're okay, they don't bandage without
The bone ain't now.
Hey. Well done, Danielle. Well done. Do you think they're going to have to take one of those, the plastic leg, so that he can learn to walk?
No, the leg is better now. Let him go on foot. With the waka, no problem.
When do you guys plan to tell him the truth?
Why don't you begin waka now? He handle well. He begin snap now fine. Keep it tell and see it. His mama, he don't die.
Rainy season is continuing in one of the world's wettest cities. The number of intense thunderstorms in sub-Saharan Africa has tripled in the last 35 years. And the number of floods here is on the rise.
Hello, Mr. Musa.
Dr. Patrick Musa has been studying the country's climate for more than half a century.
Lovely to meet you. How much can you tell me then about how the climate has changed?
Normally we used to have 2 main seasons, 6 months of rain, 6 months of the dries. But because of the climatic changes we are having, you know, we have erratic pattern, weather pattern. Yeah. High temperatures, heavy downpour of rain.
Records show that while overall rainfall is down, the intensity of downpours is increasing. But Dr. Musa says there's another reason for the rise in flooding.
So what has changed?
Human activity, because there have been a whole lot of devastation of the forest. They have been doing stone quarrying, and the soil has actually become saturated for over the past years. So when there is heavy downpour, there is a runoff, you know, discharge, and it comes with a very high velocity, you know, from the hills.
What I'm discovering is that while climate change is a factor, the causes of this latest landslide are a lot more complicated. And in reality, a city as vulnerable as Freetown, with this level of poverty and overcrowding, is always going to be right at the edge of any changes in the climate.
Africa contains the world's 10 fastest growing cities. Freetown's population exploded during the country's 10-year civil war in the 1990s, as people sought safety in the city. But there was no formal plan to house them. Today, more than half the city's 1 million residents live in overcrowded slums, which lack basic drainage and waste collection. It's rained heavily overnight again, and I've come to one slum where water's rising dangerously. It only became flood-prone in the last few years.
This area is called Congo Cross, and it's built in a river valley, so all the water that comes off the mountain washes down here and out to sea. All the houses and the infrastructure was built here years ago, but you can see now most of the houses either side have been destroyed. People are no longer able to predict where the water is going to rise to in the rainy season.
Families have nothing but a zinc roof overhead. Their houses are squeezed onto the banks of the rubbish-filled river.
See how fast the water comes here, and this is exactly the problem that they have back there. When the water hits this bridge, I mean, there's nowhere for it to go. It's full of rubbish and stuff, so the water level rises and rises really quickly.
Rising floodwater brings more than just damage to homes. I meet Isa Kamara.
People getting sick,
What kind of sick?
they get cold, malaria, anyway, boku, rash, because of all the clothes, then dirty water there.
Her uncle Hassan has lived here for more than 20 years. He's partially paralysed.
The bed, ordinary one, so then sleep na net. Though we go sleep to one of we neighbor them because I gone with the sleep.
Water.
Yeah, whole night?
All night.
You didn't sleep tonight?
At all.
Because of his disability, Hassan can't go to the neighbour's house.
I have to stop the water. I can never stop the water because it's tired. We have money to make retaining wall. Water not here.
The authorities have said they plan to rehouse people living in flood-prone areas.
Has the government come here and told you to leave?
The government told me to leave. I want to leave here.
They didn't tell you to go?
They did not. One day we have a councillor. He did not come here, the councillor, and the honourable never come here.
These people are just fighting the inevitable. Every time it rains, this is going to keep on happening. There's plastic and dirt and probably even human feces. Oh man, all kinds of stuff floating around in here.
The authorities are still holding funerals for the bodies they've retrieved from the landslide. Hundreds of corpses were brought to the mortuary in Freetown. There were so many that at one stage they were piled up on the streets outside.
More than 500 bodies have already been recovered from the landslide, and there are more coming in every day. But there is only one pathologist in the whole country, and he's based here at the Connaught Hospital.
Dr. Awis Koroma has worked here for nearly 40 years. He faced the task of confirming the cause of death and identifying the bodies.
And I'm told you're the only pathologist.
I'm the only forensic pathologist in this country, serving a population of 7.1 million. As you see, bodies were piled here, up to the roof. You can see arms, fingers, everything you can see.
So
all
this
over
is
the
mud,
place.
sometimes blood even?
Bloody, yes.
When those first bodies started coming in, did you think you'd be able to cope?
No, I have to be honest. I thought it would just be numbers getting few and all. But they kept on coming.
And you think they're going to keep coming?
Coming, yes, they will trickle in.
Tell me about the kinds of injuries that the disaster victims had.
Bruises, fractures, different injuries.
And how did that happen?
The rain, the terrain, the stones, the rocks.
It scraped?
Scrape everything.
How did this compare to the Ebola disaster?
No, it cannot compare.
No?
No, it cannot compare. The Ebola, they were coming in, trickling in, but this was just less than 3 minutes. For some people, seconds. And can I tell you one thing? Whole families were wiped out.
Outside, I come across a group of men who helped dig bodies out of the mud and want to be paid.
And they're saying that there's money have been made available for you.
Yeah, there's money available for us because we are playing with a lot of dead body, you know, without no medication, you know. So the main reason that we are here, what the government have for we, you understand, whatever little they have, when they come, they say thank you. Everybody go home.
The authorities say they can't establish who to pay. I'm told the same thing happens here after every major crisis.
I'm getting this sense of disaster fatigue. This country has been through it so many times. They had Ebola, they had floods, they had cholera, now they had a landslide. For a lot of these people, it's just too much. They've picked themselves up and been knocked down too many times, and now it's spilling over into anger.
Today, it's raining heavily again. The relentless rain washes mud down the hill and out to sea. 10 days after the landslide, discoveries are still being made.
Officer, when did you find the body? Okay, what time?
Just about 1 hour time.
Just an hour ago, okay. Are there a lot coming on the beach now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear, sweet Jesus.
Rain washed the body into the river estuary that flows into the ocean.
The army and the police are trying to secure this area to keep people away, but they've been doing that for over an hour now. The whole operation is so under-resourced that apparently the ambulance that's on its way to collect this body is stuck in traffic.
Meanwhile, they inspect the corpse and confirm it's another landslide victim.
So tell me, what's your conclusion?
We have bruises, several bruises on the body of the said deceased person.
Cannot be even identified.
Yeah.
It cannot be even identified.
Yeah, it's kind of decomposed a bit, hasn't it? So those bruises, you think they're consistent with being washed down the hill?
Well,
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Eventually, the ambulance crew arrive to take the body to the mortuary. Wedged between the Atlantic Ocean and the mountains, there's little space to accommodate Freetown's growing population.
I'm stuck in traffic in central Freetown, and I'm starting to become aware of just how overcrowded this city is. Even compared to the last time I was here 8 years ago, there are more houses, more closely packed together. I start to understand why people are being forced to build further and further up the mountain.
Sugarloaf Mountain, where the landslide occurred, is part of the Western Area Forest Reserve, a protected area with strict controls over what can be built there. In 2014, the government issued a warning, threatening to demolish all illegal housing built on the reserve. But environmentalists say nothing has been done and the building continues. I meet Dr. Bala Amaras Kekaran. He's run a conservation project on Sugarloaf Mountain for 20 years.
There should be no business for anybody to build anything here. You won't be able to control. I mean, you can see all the deforestation that has taken place. There's hardly any tree standing anymore. And these valleys are supposed to collect the water and send it to the dam where it gets purified and pumped to the people.
Trees to do that.
Of course, yes. This is what filters everything. We are basically destroying that natural cushioning mechanism.
Listening to you, I'm starting to understand the catastrophic damage that I saw down there. Because when you first look at it, it's almost incomprehensible.
Yes. All that area that collapsed, if you really go back and look at it for the last 10 years, what's been happening, there was no town planning there. Everybody just went with their pickaxe and their shovel and start looking for land.
I can understand
It's
that.
frustrating. What do we tell these 1,000 people who are dead? I mean, it's no meaning for life anymore. No one has stepped down. No one has been asked to resign. For me, from looking at the pattern, this is just the beginning. This is just tip of the iceberg, because there are other areas that are even more vulnerable for what happened.
Sierra Leone has lost 8,000 square kilometres of forest in the last decade. It's part of a trend. An area of forest the size of South Africa has been lost across the world since 1990. The Sierra Leonean government has been repeatedly warned about the impact of deforestation. I've come to meet the official spokesman on the crisis, Government Minister Yaya Tunis.
People tell me repeatedly that the amount of building that's taking place, particularly on Sugarloaf Mountain, has got completely out of hand, and that the Land Ministry in particular has been mismanaged, it's been corrupt. What's being done about that?
I think what we're seeing particularly is the whole issue of deforestation. It is just that as we were in the process of addressing some of these fundamental issues, we found ourselves with this disaster.
It is human activity and government negligence rather than rainfall that caused this landslide.
We can only come to a conclusion when we have scientific report as to what the cause really is. Yes, of course, damage was caused to the mountains. People were building houses. In the process, they were paralyzing the Sugarloaf Mountain.
You've had warnings of this for 20, 30 years now. Bearing in mind how much neglect has taken place, how little was done to stop it from happening in the first place, has anybody resigned?
Heads will definitely roll, at some point. But because now we have pressing issues of having to address the issue of shelter for those who are homeless, having to address the issue of feeding or clothing or providing medication, and then whilst the investigations go on, to bring people to book who are really responsible for some of these problems.
As my time in Sierra Leone comes to an end, I meet Maliki at a newly built displacement camp. He's come to find out whether his application for a place in the camp for himself and his son Daniel has been successful.
And so what's happening?
They don't verify for give me card and they don't give me card.
Are the difficult
I difficult I know the right now.
So basically, are they saying you can't stay inside here?
I don't stay inside, they don't give me card, so I don't go inside, even still I don't go inside safe. I get pain, then they come walk back. Somebody inside that camp, they don't affect it safe for us.
Feeling frustrated, Maliki takes me to see his village chief, the only person who can vouch for him.
With Maliki here.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah?
3 weeks now, his house has been destroyed.
Everything. In any situation, we need to have a patience and faith. As long as things has gone that way, there is a time for everything.
Maliki has been homeless
now,
for 3 weeks.
All of us were homeless, so to say. I lost my son, also my house, but I'm still getting patience.
There are so many unverified applicants that for now,
I feel for you, man.
Nobody else is being admitted. Unsustainable development is colliding with climate change in many rapidly expanding cities, which means many others may suffer as Maliki and Daniel have. Daniel's no longer in intensive care. He's being kept in hospital and his parents hope he'll soon have a prosthetic leg fitted. But Maliki still doesn't have a home to take him back to.